Dear viewers, today we brought an interesting topic where artificial intelligence made mind reading possible by turning thoughts into text. An AI-based decoder that can translate brain activity into a continuous stream of text has been developed in a breakthrough that allows a person's thoughts to be read non-invasively for the first time. The decoder could reconstruct speech with uncanny accuracy while people listen to a story, or even silently imagined one, using only fMRI scan data. Previous language decoding systems have required surgical implants, and the latest advance raises the prospect of new ways to restore speech in patients struggling to communicate due to a stroke or motor neuron disease. Brain-computer interface. A brain-computer interface that decodes continuous language from non-invasive recordings would have many scientific and practical applications. Currently, however, non-invasive language decoders can only identify stimuli from among a small set of words or phrases. Here we introduce a non-invasive decoder that reconstructs continuous language from cortical semantic representations recorded using functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI. Given novel brain recordings, this decoder generates intelligible word sequences that recover the meaning of perceived speech, imagined speech, and even silent videos, demonstrating that a single decoder can be applied to a range of tasks. We tested the decoder across cortex and found that continuous language can be separately decoded from multiple regions. As brain-computer interfaces should respect mental privacy, we tested whether successful decoding requires subject cooperation and found that subject cooperation is required both to train and to apply the decoder. Our findings demonstrate the viability of non-invasive language brain-computer interfaces. Dr. Alexander Huff, a neuroscientist who led the work at the University of Texas at Austin, said, "We were kind of shocked that it works as well as it does. I've been working on this for 15 years, so it was shocking and exciting when it finally did work." The achievement overcomes a fundamental limitation of fMRI, which is that while the technique can map brain activity to a specific location with incredibly high resolution, there is an inherent time lag, which makes tracking activity in real time impossible. The lag exists because fMRI scans measure the blood flow response to brain activity, which peaks and returns to baseline over about 10 seconds. Meaning even the most powerful scanner cannot improve on this. "It's this noisy, sluggish proxy for neural activity," said Huff. "This hard limit has hampered the ability to interpret brain activity in response to natural speech because it gives a mishmash of information spread over a few seconds." However, the advent of large language models, the kind of AI underpinning OpenAI's ChatGPT, provided a new way in. These models are able to represent, in numbers, the semantic meaning of speech, allowing the scientists to look at which patterns of neuronal activity corresponded to strings of words with a particular meaning rather than attempting to read out activity word by word. The learning process was intensive. 3 volunteers were required to lie in a scanner for 16 hours each, listening to podcasts. The decoder was trained to match brain activity to meaning using a large language model, GPT-1, a precursor to ChatGPT. Later, the same participants were scanned listening to a new story or imagining telling a story, and the decoder was used to generate text from brain activity alone. About half the time, the text closely, and sometimes precisely, matched the intended meanings of the original words. "Our system works at the level of ideas, semantics, meaning," said Huff. "This is the reason why what we get out is not the exact words, it's the gist." For instance, when a participant was played the words, "I don't have my driver's license yet," the decoder translated them as, "She has not even started to learn to drive yet." In another case, the words, "I didn't know whether to scream, cry, or run away. Instead, I said, leave me alone," were decoded as, "started to scream and cry, and then she just said, I told you to leave me alone." The participants were also asked to watch 4 short, silent videos while in the scanner, and the decoder was able to use their brain activity to accurately describe some of the content, the paper in Nature Neuroscience reported. For a non-invasive method, this is a real leap forward compared to what's been done before, which is typically single words or short sentences, Huff said. Sometimes the decoder got the wrong end of the stick and it struggled with certain aspects of language, including pronouns. "It doesn't know if it's first person or third person, male or female," said Huff. Why it's bad at this we don't know. The decoder was personalized, and when the model was tested on another person, the readout was unintelligible. It was also possible for participants on whom the decoder had been trained to thwart the system, for example, by thinking of animals or quietly imagining another story. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do subscribe and share our videos.